Oh, sunny. Hello, Lee. We are live, boys and girls. Welcome to the Dropshot Call of Duty Podcast, episode 551. I'm Casey, aka Razinon. I'm joined by Tanner.
That's what I'm being told.
And today,
he says I'm hanging on. That's crazy.
you are. I've just checked. You're still hanging in there. That's a ball bag. You're still hanging on. And today we have an episode for you. So, today, yes, the beta just ended. Season 6 just came out. And we have a lot to talk about. A lot of good stuff, actually, which is pretty atypical for Call of Duty generally. And especially, particularly atypical for the last fucking year. So that's good. So we will get into all of that stuff. First, we did get some new patrons. Curtis. I don't think it's a real name, so I'm reading it. And Irish Soldier, just spelled horrendously. But you're a new gold patron, so welcome. Fuck pigs. Patreon.com/the Dropshot. Appreciate you boys. Welcome. Also, Aaron C. I don't think that's a real name either, but I'll just err on the side of caution, is upgraded to Platinum, which is based. Good shit. Welcome aboard, buddy. Thank you for the fire upgrade. We appreciate that. Patreon.com/the Dropshot. Best way to support the show. Ad-free episodes, early access episodes, and bonus episodes. One of which we just did for our Platinum patrons. A little Q and also A. We do one every month there for Platinum and above. And we will have more coming.
Yeah.
Particularly now that we have things to talk about, which there are lots. Because we just had the beta, we've gotten some more news, which we're going to talk about today as well. And Season 6, there will be nothing to talk about with Season 6 that we won't exhaustively cover today.
Yeah, there's a season today, guys.
Briefly
That's
skim.
crazy.
Yeah, there's a new season. In case many of you unironically didn't know that. Which is not surprising.
We didn't.
Well, I saw two people in chat say, "Oh, it's season 6." Stupid fucking idiot bitch.
Yeah.
Plus fucking
stupid one. We'll get to the SBMM discussion.
Okay.
Don't worry. Stupid.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Let's wait till launch, but we will talk about that. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, thank you very much, boys. To our new and upgraded patrons. Also, Robert DC has given us a very generous 100 United States dollar donation. Wow! He also left us a nice message that I will not share because I was told not to share it. He also said, I don't have to talk about this, but you can suck on my ball bag, Robert, because you deserve your thanks and we appreciate it, man. And yeah, we understand. It's fine, dude. I get it. We get it. And that was not a necessary donation, but it was very much appreciated. So Robert, thank you very much. Soldier 07 to you. That's a soldier saluting emoji. You're probably old as fuck, so you didn't know that. So I felt I had to explain that.
That's an 07.
That's an 07. So Robert, thank you very much for the $100, dude. Very generous. Wasn't needed, but we appreciate it. All right. As far as another announcements go, I don't really know if there are any, to be honest.
Thanks, man.
Another episode on Saturday, probably. No, almost certainly. Because if there's nothing else to talk about with COD, we could do a little BF6 chatting.
Oh, yeah. You'll have played some Battlefield.
Some Battlefield. So we'll talk about that a little bit today as well. But now into the meat and the potatoes of today. So there's mostly BO7 stuff to talk about, and it's mostly BO7 stuff I want to talk about. However, we did also just have Season 6 launch of this fuck-ass game, which is Black Ops 6. even if we were going to cover this in great detail, there wouldn't be much to talk about. But we're not going to cover it in great detail because I don't fucking care, obviously. And many of you don't care either.
I'm haunted, yeah.
As we've been telling you for this entire year, and maybe multiple years, nothing ever happens in Season 6. Nothing ever happens generally, but especially in Season 6 of a Call of Duty game. Nothing ever happens. The same is true this year, obviously. There were a set of patch notes and a blog post for Season 6 for both multiplayer and Warzone. We're not talking about multiplayer, obviously, but we will very briefly skim the patch notes for the Season 6 Warzone, which were posted yesterday. TLDR, the haunting is back. They say things about Ricochet. I don't care. Because we'll see. Let's see. And I'm not playing BO6 again anyway. So yeah. And yeah, anyway, whatever. The haunting event's coming. You guys know what it is already. Basically, we'll talk a little more about it as we get there. Battle Pass Warzone. So we have Night Verdansk. They have a screenshot here. You'll notice there literally isn't a light on the entire screenshot. We were also just watching Swag play this. There isn't a light on the entire map. This visibility is probably better in this screenshot than it is in game. Can't see anything. Also just isn't fun. Obviously, it's on Verdansk, so it can't be fun. And on top of that, it's the same old bullshit game mode we've seen before. I'm not even sure you can become a zombie, but again, I don't care, and I'm not going to read to find out. It doesn't matter. I'm not playing an LTM on Verdansk. Hope that helps.
I don't think you can yet. I think the one out right now is just the casual mode, so I don't think you turn into a zombie yet.
So it's literally just casual Verdansk at night.
You're just running around killing AI zombies, basically.
Okay. Yeah.
So
Woo!
the regular zombie royale comes back in season at some point, and that's where players will turn into zombies. That's the more fun ones, but... so if you're excited for the haunting event, you're probably not going to have fun quite yet till that comes. And that means in season, so it could come in 10 minutes, it could come in 12 hours, could come in 2 days, or it might come in 3 weeks. So we'll let you know.
Actually, yeah. So we probably won't let you know, actually, because it doesn't matter and we'll not mention it because no one cares.
That's a sunset gif.
So that's a sunset gif as fuck. But anyway, yeah. So that makes sense. So night, casual, rebirth, and Verdansk are in. Cool. Woohoo. Casual ZLTM is another thing happening. And no one cares about BO6 and Warzone. So yeah, you're right. Zombie Royale's coming in season, which Tanner just mentioned. Some playlists, ranked play. Yap. Let's see. Buys on Verdansk have been re-randomized across the map to create more dynamic combat scenarios. And new buy station locations are as follows, and they have a screenshot here. This is one of the things that is really low effort, high impact from the devs. I think they should do this probably every half season, honestly. I think they currently do it every season, generally. But you can really change how the game plays, even if you change literally nothing else, by just changing where buys are, because it changes where drop spots are, and it changes where hot spots are, even in the mid and late game. So this is good. It's not enough, obviously, for me, but this is a good thing to do, because again, it's really easy, and it really does change how the game feels a lot. So that's cool.
Dang, that one buy that we've been using a lot lately isn't there anymore. It sucks. We're gonna have to change.
Oh, the one, spot. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that one down in that corner there, kind of, in that one area. Yeah.
It's in the area and sort of a corner. Yeah, one of the four corners.
Sort of west of that other building, yeah.
Right, yeah, but east of the other one.
Yep.
Anyway, adjustments to plunder. Okay. And other adjustments. And then new weapons. So first, they've called this the Dresden 9mm. It's obviously, of course, an MP40. So, which is fine. They haven't been using real names anyway. But it's an SMG. I was watching Swag use it a little bit. Looks pretty cool. Pretty slow fire rate, but very little recoil. Kind of gives me sort of the vibes of like the... Though by no means am I saying it's as good or fun as the cool gun from Caldera era. What was that called? What was your favorite sub in Caldera, Tanner?
Mine was the Blixen.
Kind of reminds me of that, sort of.
Yeah, we're being told in chat this is a deal for people who still play Warzone. By the way, they changed the max smokes you can carry from 2 to 1. So
oh wow,
people are talking about this.
Yeah.
If Warzone were good, this would be interesting, but it's a shit fucking game, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, so they've changed that down to 1, dropped that down to 1.
I don't even know if this is a good change or not. Probably isn't.
I think most people wanted it that we're still playing. I don't know.
Okay. Sunset GIF, yeah. So
that's like the only thing I saw a couple tweets about related to the season was that specific line.
This definitely matters and is impactful, but
if you're playing Warzone.
If you're exactly as you said, if you're playing Warzone, which no one is, so hope that helps. That actually is a very big deal, though. I don't know if most people wanted that, but I don't know anything about what most people want. Anyway, we're getting an MP40.
The game. Yeah.
And then we're also getting the Merrick. This is a BO7 waiting room, obviously. Merrick 556 AR, which is a full auto assault rifle. So it's another gun that shoots bullets.
It's a nice gun. It's like an M1A.
Old.
P14, something like that. Well, yeah, we're Black Ops 6, man. We're in 1980. I know the year. It's a year. Sometime.
Right. Yeah. So, okay. And then a chainsaw. Okay.
Oh, that's cool.
And then this is coming. What the fuck is this? Nice, X52 Resonator special weapon is coming in season. It's a full auto anomaly. Extreme rate of fire and range, but with high recoil? Transform the weapon by adding one of 3 unique shard attachments in the guise of crystals. Grounded. Each resulting in a different style of attack. You can get a multi-shot, a 7-round burst, or a charge shot attachment. Okay. So if I'm a cheater, this sounds really nice to me. Because it has an extreme fire rate and range, but with high recoil, which won't matter when I'm cheating. So I'll just be beaming.
They're catching 98% of cheaters before they get into a match, man.
Oh yeah, that's what they're saying, right? Yeah. It's just insane. Some new attachments, the GPR91 double barrel conversion. So remember, guys, the last double barrel conversion I remember was for the AMR9 submachine gun, which lowered the time to kill and damage range. So whatever cool thing this might add, like, I don't know, double the RPM since you're shooting twice the bullets, but adding more recoil, for example, or lowering your movement speed, for example. Instead, what it's going to do is increase your fire rate by 3% and then cut your damage by 50%. And your damage range will be 7 meters max with attachments. So this is going to be a cool idea for an attachment that'll be ruined by its balance. Cool. And then the GPMG7 muzzle booster, which will improve the velocity and increase the fire rate over time, but will have low recoil. So we've seen things like this before. This gun is just not very good, though. So, I mean, it's terrible, actually. So,
that's a dog.
And that's a dog. So, it won't matter, obviously. Cell is generous. Yeah, I'll do a lot before that. I'll get in my... By the way, chat, should I get in my Hassan era and put shock collars on my dogs? Oh.
I said you should Hassan your dog.
I thought you said I should sell the dog.
I saw this other funny one that I posted in garbage memes a little while ago, but it was it said what Hassan's dog sees before he's getting ready to take a bath, and it was just a toaster in a bathtub.
Oh no. Yeah. Yeah, Collargate. It's really good.
They changed the default loadout and they adjusted some guns. Let's move on from this blog post.
Yeah, and they did some weapon balance changes, yeah. And then some bug fixes they say they fixed, yeah. So don't care. So yeah, that's season 6, guys. Long 7. Like I said, many people in chat, proportionally, were like, oh, season 6 is out? Yeah. It's because nothing happened. There's some LTMs we've seen before. Who cares? And and the beta happened, and everyone's talking about that, which is what we're going to do as well. So we did get a blog post on the BO7 beta patch notes.
Yes.
This was today. The beta's offline now, by the way, so you can't play BO7 again until launch. We're not going to talk about like the weapon balance or whatever, because who cares? They're going to definitely have to do more, even before launch and after
They
that.
don't talk about any of that even, do they?
I don't know,
really.
but there is some important stuff to talk about. So with just a couple hours remaining of the beta, we wanted to update people. First, thanks. Didn't ask. Okay, here's the thing. Yes, matchmaking update. We know the big question on everyone's minds coming out of the beta is how will matchmaking work in BO7? This was my big question, by the way.
Yeah.
It really wasn't even a question, because I had said they're throwing us a bone and then they're going to say, oh, the testing in the beta confirms everyone fucking loves SBMM. Let's see if I was right. At launch of BO7, open matchmaking, which was the playlist they added to the beta, with minimal skill consideration, will be the default for BO7 multiplayer. Simply put, imagine the matchmaking experience of open mosh pit from the beta, but as the standard in BO7 on day one. Our team feels strongly about providing players with a more varied experience, and the beta proved to be a great opportunity to test this approach. But we'll be sharing more details as we get closer to launch. Okay, so I'm very surprised by this.
COD is saved, yeah.
COD is back. COD is perfect now. As I had said in the last episode, I said they're gonna just confirm what they've already said, and then that's it. But to their credit, they are doing it. I have a lot of questions still, though. One of which is, what does minimal skill consideration mean? It definitely means something. Because, yeah, I played the open mosh pit and the SBMM one, and there is clearly a difference. You will get some really sweaty lobbies in open mosh pit, but then you would get some fucking awful players, like, pretty regularly. So it's clearly doing something. Like, it's less SBMM 100%. But I do wonder what minimal skill consideration means, but that's not a big deal. The other thing is, what did their testing in this beta show? Because they've talked about, like we did talk about last time, how they have done their own little internal tests or whatever on SBMM. And they said, oh, everyone loves SBMM actually, so we are keeping it in. That's what they said in their white paper, in the blog post related to the white paper that they had released before. So what happened then? Because you did a test, like, what was that, a year or two ago? And it showed one thing, and then you do another test and now it's showing something totally different. I find that impossible to believe. Except this is a beta, and fewer people play a beta than the full game. So for that reason, maybe, because the beta is going to skew more toward high skill players. But I still find that very hard to believe. And it really makes me wonder what happened? Like, the test showed SBMM was good a year or two ago, and now it's showing it's bad? The player base didn't change that much, especially in an open beta on like a Saturday and Sunday. So either the entire player base changed their minds or something else is going on, and I don't really know what. So I would love to see the data, and I don't think we're ever going to get it, by the way.
Yeah, I don't think the data showed anything different than it did in the past. I think they're just trying to get good grace within the vocal minority part of the player base, the people on Twitter, the people who've been asking for this for a long time, so that's why they're doing it. Clearly, I think their data would show, especially when the full game launches, that bad players are leaving matches earlier, because if they're getting farmed, that's just going to happen. But I think they're just gonna risk that and just let it run.
That must be it.
Yeah, it has to be it. I mean, there's no way anything else changed.
That's exactly.
I
but
did
then
eventually
why is that worth
see
it
one
now
tweet.
when it wasn't before?
Because the game's fucking dead. The sales are probably terrible.
I would love for them to say that. Is my point, I guess.
So the average casual, I think, shit or fuck, they don't want this futuristic theme at all. So many of them probably aren't ordering it. They never pre-ordered it. They don't care about playing it. So the people left playing this game are the COD fanboys, like the big COD fanboys that are still playing Season 6 right now. And they are the people who want something like this. So I think they're just finally listening to them because they're forced to, because the shitterfucks aren't playing their game this year. I think that's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
And the shitterfucks will all be back for Infinity Ward's game because Modern Warfare always just draws way more casual players.
Right.
The older player base, people who aren't as skilled, people who turn off aim assist. So, like, clearly, and let's make that clear right now. This is not lasting more than a year at the absolute most. With Infinity Ward's title next year, we're going right back to probably the most strict skill-based matchmaking we've ever seen, actually. So this will only be in this year's video game. So yeah,
at best, like you said. Yeah.
And they might even remove that by X season, but nobody knows. Because it is interesting how they say at launch it'll be in there, which that's one thing. When they say something about like it'll be the standard on day one, like it almost instead of them saying this will be the standard in Black Ops 7, they're saying on day one, and that's kind of leaving it open to where 3 months from now they can decide, you know what, the player base is dying off, people are not sticking in matches. People are not happy with the way they're getting destroyed. They have less playtime on. We're making less money. So Activision has forced us to add it back in. That's what that's leaving it open to, I think.
I agree 100%. Yeah. So, yeah. Like, again, I would love to see what their data shows. Because it almost certainly does show the same thing it showed a year or two ago. So I'd love to see that. And then for them to say, despite this, we're doing it for, whatever reason to appeal to our core fan base or something. They won't, though. And it doesn't ultimately matter, because that's the other thing is, again, I wasn't expecting them to do it at all. So credit to them for doing it at all. If your testing showed that it was worse for player retention and you're doing it anyway, though, which seems to be the case, then why did you fucking test it at all? Why not just add it in?
That was probably their intention. That's what I had said last episode. It's like they're testing it. They're obviously going to do it. Like it makes more sense that they're going to test it and then add it in rather than go the opposite way. They could have done it that way, but it seemed like the way they were wording it, they were going to set themselves up for failure if they just fucked everybody over.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. Yeah,
I did see one tweet though, like I think it was yesterday, and it had a decent amount of traction, like a few hundred likes, and it was some guy, and he said something about like, open mosh pit has been nice, but like you're lying if you say that it's not making players leave the matches sooner. And he posted like 6 screenshots of matches where the enemy team would just like all leave. 4 of them would leave, 6 of them would leave because they were just getting stomped. And he's like, people do definitely leave a lot more often now than they do when there's SBMM involved. So I do wonder how long or how that's going to look once the full game actually releases and we have more people playing the game that are bad. They also say, by the way, minimal skill consideration. It might be something like the people with like below a 0.4 KD are in some sort of protected
That's probably
lobby.
what that means, and it probably should be that way.
And that's what we've talked about for a long time. If you're that bad at the game, and we've seen a couple of them in our years of the pod that have been patrons, there are people that are just, it's mind-blowing how you're that bad at a video game and playing it, to be honest. But they exist, so maybe that's what that means. Like the really, really, really bad players, they do need to be protected, I think.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, for sure. I agree. But yeah, like, again, like you said, because again, I didn't think it was going to happen at all, but it is going to happen at least on launch. Cool. How long is it going to last, though? Because if their data shows it leads to less player retention, but they're willing to do that because it's offset by all the positive publicity they're getting, which is a fair argument, and maybe that's true for them. They can have their cake and eat it too really easily by doing this, and then on launch for a month or two, a season or two, keeping the low SBMM, eating the player retention penalty that not having SBMM has, and then just adding it back in season 3 or season 2 or whenever, and not mentioning it. Because remember, they are under no obligation ever to tell you if and when or how they change how their matchmaking works. They don't have to tell you, and in fact, they won't tell you. So my prediction is around season 3, maybe sooner, they're just going to turn it back on and not say anything. And
that's
then,
what I was thinking. I can see them turning it back on and not saying anything at some point.
Of course, yeah. Why would they say anything if they turn it back on? I mean, maybe to get the casuals back, but casuals aren't reading fucking blog posts, so probably not. They'd probably just turn it on, not say anything. And then a couple weeks after that, there's going to be an exclusive Ace video. There's going to be some tweets like, damn, lobbies are sweaty all of a sudden. And then exclusive Ace is going to make a video being like, yeah, I tested it. They just fully turned it back on, by the way. So then they do kind of get to have their cake and eat it too. They get to get the player retention back that SBMM provides, but they've already gotten all the box sales and free publicity and goodwill from the community by not having SBMM and announcing they don't have SBMM for the launch window. And that's pretty scummy. Now, that hasn't happened, to be fair. Again, I was wrong about them having it at all, even on day one. So it is possible they don't do that, and there's just very little SBMM for the whole year. And that would be great. But I hadn't even considered what about next year. And yeah, that's another thing. Toller pointed this out in Discord. I would have gotten there eventually, but he got there first. Even if there's no SBMM for the whole year in BO7, cool, really good. Because the open mosh pit, by the way, it wasn't just like shit or fuck curb stomps every game. It was exactly what we've been saying for the last 5 years about how SBMM is bad. Because not having it doesn't mean you just run everyone over every single match. That was not my experience at all. It was a variety. Sometimes we were fighting shit cans. Sometimes we were fighting insane players. Felt like there was SBMM on, and they were really good, and we'd get rolled, or it would be close or whatever. But then sometimes there was a variety, and players would be like, they're okay, but they're not that good, or they're fucking terrible. And like, yeah, that's what was really good, and I'm very glad to see that. But again, as Toller pointed out, best case scenario, almost certainly, we do have an entire year with little SBMM, and then iDubbbz's title in 2026 is going to be a disaster, like Tanner was also just saying. SBMM will be cranked to the max. In fact, they might say, hey, our testing shows everyone loves not having SBMM. We're still turning it back on. That's something Infinity Ward would do. And to their credit, they'd say it. They would say, hey, just like about the minimap dots, they'd say, hey, we hear you guys. We know you want minimap dots back on the minimap. Kill yourselves. We're not doing it anyway. Hope that helps. So that's probably what's coming, is Infinity Ward's going to have a blog post. Hey, we know you all don't like SBMM. We're turning it on anyway. Go fuck yourself, because we know it's better for you than you do. And also, time to kill is going down to 5 milliseconds. We're removing the minimap entirely. Everyone dies in 1 bullet. And there's Ninja's a default perk. There are no footstep audio. And the entire map, every map, is black. And you can't see anyone. You hip fire everything and hope you land something.
Yeah.
Plus AI in Warzone. Or DMZ2. Which is actually what we're getting. Yeah. It's going to be, but SBMM will be added back in for sure with Infinity Ward's next game. Fucking absolutely. The only way that's not true is if it truly is the case that having SBMM leads to more player retention. But their testing hasn't shown that. It didn't show it last time, and it probably didn't show it here either. Otherwise, they would have said so, by the way. That's another thing. If the no SBMM was increasing player time, they would have fucking said that in the blog post where they said beta takeaways, obviously. But they didn't say any result at all. No data whatsoever. What does that tell you? It didn't. It lowered player retention just like it did when they ran the study or whatever 2 years ago. So yeah, we're getting it back 1,000% next year. And you know, that's a problem to worry about next year, I guess. But yeah, to think this is all, you know, roses and chocolates or whatever. I think you're kind of myopic if you think that. And then another thing, as Ramin has pointed out in chat, and was my first thought was, this is cool. What about Warzone? Because here's the thing. This is true for me. It was true for Tanner. And it's probably true for most of you by now, because we've kind of cultivated that type of audience. Multiplayer is cool and fun and interesting insofar as Warzone is cool and fun and interesting. And the multiplayer experience only matters as much as the Warzone experience matters. And it only matters really until the Warzone integration happens. So I get BO7. Cool. I play it without SBMM. It's way more fun than it otherwise would be. That's awesome. And then Warzone comes out and I'm done playing multiplayer the rest of the year. That's been the case literally since we started this podcast. As soon as the Warzone integration happens, we're done with multiplayer. That's probably true for most of you as well. And remember, they're not doing this matchmaking update. At least they're not saying they're doing this matchmaking update yet. In Warzone, they're just doing it in BO7 multiplayer. And again, cool for a month or whatever. But as soon as the integration happens, I'll be playing Warzone instead. Or nothing at all, actually. And if they're still super strict SBMM in unranked pubs Warzone, then I don't really care that much. I just don't.
Yeah.
I just don't. So, you know. I'll take it. This is a better result than I was expecting, but it just isn't as meaningful, I don't think, as many of you seem to think it will be. And I'm pretty confident it's not even lasting the full year anyway. I bet you season 2 or 3, they turn it back on and don't say anything.
Yeah.
So, but again, credit where it's due. I was wrong. I didn't think they would add it at all. So at least we're getting it for a while. So anyway, next thing is persistent lobbies. This is lobbies not disbanding after a match. Especially without SBMM, this shit doesn't matter at all. If you lose the game, you're going to find a different lobby. So whether the lobby stays together or not doesn't matter. Because if you lost, you're going to leave. And if you won, you're going to stay. So unless you literally lock people into lobbies, then persistent lobbies don't matter at all.
Well, yeah, they matter for certain things. Like search, there will be people going back and forth.
Search, true. Yeah, good point.
I think more people will do this than you're giving credit for. Yeah, I think a lot of people care about this. I don't too much anymore. We did at one point. We did talk about this, I feel like, a lot in like 2020 and 2021, like coming off of playing BO4. But then we realized, oh wait, this is cross input now, so I don't want to stay in a match as everybody else anyways. I want to just get off the game. So, this was really cool back in Black Ops 4 when we played on PC. It was fantastic to have those persistent lobbies, but
for sure.
I don't care about this really, personally.
Yeah. I think you're right for search.
I think it kind of like goes along with the whole no SBMM thing though. So it's definitely good to have. And I think multiplayer players playing BO7 overall would enjoy this. So I think it's a good change.
I agree. Because if you have persistent lobbies, if you don't like that, you can just leave whenever you want. But if you do like that, you can choose to stay. So it gives the player agency without forcing them to do anything they don't want to do. So this is just good, even if I don't care personally. So yeah, great. And it's what the community wants, most importantly. So yeah, cool, persistent lobbies. I'm not reading it. I don't care. Aim assist. I am reading the motherfuck out of this, though. We've also seen the discussions about rotational aim assist and community questions about how aim assist will be tuned across inputs. That worries me a lot in Black Ops 7. I haven't read this yet, but don't say across inputs, because if we get aim assist on mouse, I will freak the fuck out. I don't play on mouse anymore. I can't. But anyway, it's a priority of ours to have a fair and competitive balance. It's super not across all input devices at launch. And we'll be sharing more about changes coming to aim assist on controller. Okay. Ahead of launch. So they're going to nerf aim assist, obviously. Or at least they plan to.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't know what they could do. I don't even know what I would want. I guess I want people to have to actually put in more input rather than just being able to, push like 2% on your left or right stick and that get full aim drag. I think it needs to be like linear. Like if somebody's pushing that amount, somebody runs around the corner. One, I think you need to be pushing your analog stick the correct direction from where that person is going to come.
That's a start.
I think, because you could push it any direction, you can move in any direction at all, and you get the aim assist once they come around the corner. So if you're pushing right, somebody comes around the corner from the left and starts running right, it'll first pull back from the right to the left, even if you're slowly making your aim go to the right. It'll pull that back and get it on target. So that obviously shouldn't be a thing. You shouldn't be able to push your fucking aiming stick whatever direction you want and get aim drag on the player, right? So let's get rid of that. Let's tune that back. And then I think the amount of input you put on should have a much bigger difference on just the strength of AA that you get. So if like good players that do that, like all the good Warzone pros, that's what they do. They always make sure they have pressure on their sticks. They get insane AA. And I think that should be, you have to put in more AA for the speed of that, or you have to put in more directional
input.
Yeah. When somebody runs around a corner to be able to stick to them. Otherwise, they should be able to just run past it. But I mean, none of it's going to matter. It doesn't matter. They're going to nerf it in some way that's going to hardly change anything. So, whatever.
Yeah, you guys remember the aim assist nerf in BO6? Oh, wait, they reverted it. Right? So, yeah. Yeah.
This would be a good game to do it in, though, because like all the wall jumping and everything, I mean, as like the good K-BAM players say every year, it's unfortunate that you spend all this time adding in a feature like wall jumping that should allow you to outplay, and then some shitter fuck just standing there will get aim drag as you're coming off your jump without having to really do anything at all and just kill you, even though you did some crazy move and you should get that kill, and then he just gets an easy kill on you because of the time to kill, the A. It's just, it's bad.
Yeah, obviously aim assist is
they're going to change, though. It's not going to be a big difference.
It's not going to be that big. Yeah. Because, if you nerf aim assist too much and remove SBMM, you're going to lose, like, all of your casual player base. Think about it. Like, there are times where I could literally kill Biffle if I'm on controller, because aim assist is so strong. That should literally be impossible. It shouldn't be possible for me to kill him once. Like, literally ever. But I can probably pretty easily in a lot of scenarios, just because aim assist is that strong, not because I'm good at all. And that's insane. Whereas, like, if Biffle was as good as he is on mouse and I was as good as I am on mouse, I would never kill him. Like, because there's no aim assist. No. Yeah. So, like, if you nerf it too much, you're losing every casual you have. What they should do, I don't know exactly everything that they should do, but to start, you should get literally no aim assist if your hand's not on your controller like you do now. So if my controller is sat on my desk and someone runs across my screen, my character will pull. That's fucking outrageous. There should be literally no aim assist if I'm not fucking touching my controller, obviously. So it should require input number one. Yeah. It probably needs more nerfing than just that. Excuse me. It certainly needs more nerfing than just that. But fuck, is that a start? Yeah. That's completely insane. So, Why are they doing this is a different question, because I don't know how many people really want to nerf to aim assist. It's like, obviously it's every single keyboard and mouse player, but are there that many?
Well, good controller players. A lot
good
of the
controller players say it's
a
too
lot of
strong,
the CDL players.
Complain.
Yeah, because they're still because it's still
they're
better
on controller.
For them. The stronger it is, I mean, the better you are, the stronger it is also, because you know how to get it to, you know, act the way where it's busted OP. But yeah, I saw CDL players tweeting about it. I saw like Warzone controller players tweeting about it. They're all like overall happy with the nerfs, it seems like, or with nerfs coming, whatever that may be. But yeah, they're also never vocal about it needing to be nerfed most of the time, which is always unfortunate.
Yeah, right. They admit it when it comes up.
We do need this.
Yeah.
But they're not actually trying to get anything changed.
Yeah.
Like one of the few people that I see online is J God. He's always vocal about like, no, it's busted as fuck and it needs a nerf. And like, we've talked to the devs about that, how it's too good. And he plays on controller and he's very vocal about it, which I think is good.
Yeah. And like we've said for, again, the last 5 years, if you're a really good controller player, you should want this too, because you'll die to players way worse than you because aim assist is so strong. You can't aim better than anyone else on controller in Call of Duty. It's not possible because everyone's aim is perfect. So if you're really good at aiming on controller, then that also will annoy you because you'll lose fights to people that are fucking terrible. But you don't get that skill gap because your good aim doesn't actually really matter. Obviously it does in some sense, but you get what I'm saying. But anyway, yeah, this would be great and much needed. But it won't close the gap between like controller and keyboard and mouse, if that's what you think is happening. Not even fucking close. It's still going to be way better to play on controller. I promise you that.
Yeah.
That's on Mamas.
Yeah, definitely. That's on Mamas.
But I'm very surprised. I will say that. I'm very surprised. Ricochet anti-cheat. Okay. On day 1 of the beta, 97.5% of matches were completely clean of cheaters. By day 5, that number rose to 98.8% of matches being cheater-free. So, can you guys point out the problem here?
It seems like nobody can, because I've seen nobody say this at all.
Can anyone recognize the issue here? Which we bring up on probably literally every single Ricochet blog post. Let's wait. Let's see if anyone in chat has a fucking functioning brain. I would love that. Fuck would I love that.
Yeah, it's yeah. I saw a lot of tweets saying things like, yeah, like I didn't have any cheaters in the beta. That's great. This and that's like, okay, yeah, that is good that you didn't see any cheaters. Like, yeah, it probably is a lot better than it's been, sure. But the way they word this, by the way, it's just literally a lie. This is an untrue statement, and it's not possible to give these numbers and make it a true statement. Right.
Yeah. And no one in chat can figure it out.
Yeah, so all of our listeners are retarded, obviously.
So on day 1 of the beta, 97.5% of matches were completely clean of cheaters. Okay. How do you know that?
You don't know.
Unless you detect the cheater. So what about the cheaters you don't detect, obviously?
Yeah. What about the guys walling that cheated probably the whole fucking beta?
And didn't get caught. Yeah. So you literally can't say
lying.
This.
They're
unless
just
you know every
lying.
single cheater.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Which you obviously don't.
Don't even put numbers in
Call
there
of Duty
it's a lie.
Yeah, it's just fake and retarded. So what they mean to say is, again, on day 1 of the BO7 beta, 97.5% of matches were completely clean of cheaters that we ended up catching at some point. Which is to say nothing about the cheaters we didn't catch, and we don't know that number definitionally, because if we caught them, then they would have been in this figure. Duh. And we're retarded for saying this. That's what they mean to say.
And it
obviously
works. Because nobody uses their brain to actually think about what these statements mean when they put these numbers out. So
and they know that. This is,
yes, of course,
the classic Activision obfuscation, deceit, and lie by omission. because you have no way of knowing how many matches were completely cheater free because you don't catch all your cheaters. That's the entire fucking problem with your dog shit anti-cheat. And I saw 3 cheaters in the beta as a reminder, and I didn't play that much. So keep that in mind as well. Yeah. So
okay, so
yeah,
I'm pulling up the tweet to see if anybody points this out.
And I hate the player base.
So this is from COD Updates. They talk about we've been tracking it, blah, blah. They put the same numbers here. The trend is clear. Each day the beta, Ricochet, adapted and improved, preventing and stopping cheaters faster, ensuring more players experience a clean matches, blah, blah. They really talk themselves up. Yeah, this is the result of years of investment, refinement, and collaboration across teams who deeply care about fair play. Got it. Okay, so let's see if anybody tweets or points this out. Parasite, CDL player. When I see it in ranked play, I'll believe it. Good luck, ladies and gents. So he's been baited.
Also a good point, though. But yeah.
Okay, this guy understands it. We caught 100% of the cheaters we caught. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Right.
And this guy is some sort of a game dev who said this, by the way, and he's followed by GamerDoc, who is that anti-cheat guy. So this guy probably does something and understands. So he clearly pointed it out. Yeah, you caught the cheaters that you caught. Yeah, that's true. What about the ones you didn't?
Right. Obviously. Super obviously.
Amazing stats and hard work. Communication throughout the beta was clear and incredibly executed. You're a fucking retard. LVI Rush.
RSCade.
Oh, okay, this guy. Okay, so I think more people than I gave it credit for pointed out. No one believes in these data posts anymore.
Good.
True.
Good.
Didn't run into a single hacker. I've yet to see any hackers.
Cool.
Okay, so this guy was baited. 1.2% is still a lot, though. Baited by the number, by the figure, everybody.
Oh, no.
Thanks for stepping up. Credit where credit is due. Hashtag Team Ricochet.
People. Yeah.
Yeah, so most of the player base is just...
It's fucking retarded, yeah, and that's why they get away with this shit all the time. That's why all of you were fucking foaming at the mouths, salivating dicks hard as fuck, when they said, oh, we're going to do open mosh pit with no SBMM, as if it was actually going to amount to anything, which I really, really don't think it will, but that remains to be seen, ultimately. But, that guy, by the way, that guy's also right. 1.2% of matches not having a cheater. I guess that's different than saying 1.2% of players, to be fair. Is it? It is different. I don't know how it's different, but
quick maths.
Yeah, I'm not Newton. I can't do the math on that. But let's say it were like 1%, 1.2% of players were cheating. That isn't what this says, but if it were, that would still mean every single Warzone match you'd have a cheater, by the way. Usually 2. Or often 2. So that would still be a lot. Yeah, still would be too many. But that's not what those numbers mean. Anyway, the team has more beta results and key learnings to share soon, including how we're unleashing our full suite of detections for the launch of BO7. So they just let people cheat in the beta, is what we're being told. I've heard this before. Hey guys, I've heard this before. Have you? In every blog post they say, oh, we're letting some cheat to get more data. That's the song and dance every time. Meanwhile, TTV Moon is fucking my ass for weeks on end. Are we dead ass? Rage hacking, by the way. So yeah, I mean,
yeah.
If you think the anti-cheat's going to be good, doesn't matter. One interesting thing, because it won't be. One interesting thing too is that if we really don't have SBMM, for the first time ever, shitter fucks who say, I don't see cheaters, cheating is fine, are gonna fucking see them finally. Because instead of only the top SBMM bracket encountering the cheaters, because cheaters do well, so they're in the highest SBMM bracket, you're all gonna fucking see them now. And you're all gonna suddenly realize, oh, there were cheaters the whole time. Hey, fix the anti-cheat, and then maybe the casuals will start bitching about it and something will actually get done. They'll be in casual mode, of course, so it won't matter. But maybe people will cheat in casual, hopefully. And so they get to experience that. That we've been having to put up with for fucking years on end. That would be great. But yeah, having cheaters in a no SBMM lobby, boy, is that going to be an experience. That's going to be a learning experience for many of you. And maybe for some of you, you'll realize what an actual cheat looks like. Because there's another phenomenon where bad players will accuse perfectly legitimate players of cheating just because they're good. But then you're going to see a real cheater and you're going to say, oh, okay, this is what cheating looks like. When he fucking 270s on you in one frame, headshots only. That's cheating. So anyway, yeah. There's obviously a gradient of how people cheat, but looking ahead, the purpose of the beta is to test, collect player data, and gather feedback from all of you in real fucking time. We have a ton of information to digest from this past week, and work has already begun to implement key improvements and updates for launch. We'll be compiling confirmed updates over the coming weeks, and we'll share more. In the meantime, the beta's ending. Look for more.
The beta's ended.
Look for more intel.
The beta's ended as fuck, they actually wrote.
Yeah, that's exactly what they wrote. And that's it. So, okay. So overall in the beta, by the way, the open mosh pit was definitely clearly different, as I described earlier. And if that iteration, if that version of SBMM is implemented to the full game for the full year, I will be quite pleased. But again, don't really care because I'm mostly going to be playing Warzone anyway, insofar as I'll be playing Call of Duty. And there is no hint that we're getting SBMM removed from Warzone. However, the fact that they're explicitly talking about removing it does imply that we could be seeing a removal of SBMM in like casual, or excuse me, I'm so sorry, in regular Warzone lobbies. That would be a big, big deal for me. But then again, how long does that last? How long does that last? And another thing, if you're losing too many casuals by nerfing aim assist and not having SBMM, then having no SBMM isn't going to matter much anyway, because the only people left are pretty fucking good. So we may have just been, we may have already irreparably damaged the player base over the last 5 years, starting with MW2, such that all the casuals are fucking gone. And so no SBMM doesn't really matter because everyone left playing is insane and nuts. It's another possibility too. There are a lot of ways. This is all good. I'll take it, but you know, don't get ahead of yourselves is all I'm saying. I certainly won't be getting ahead of myself because I have a memory. I remember things. And I remember all of the times Activision has lied or omitted or been deceitful. In the past 5 years, the number of times they've done that is countless. Countless.
Yeah.
So excuse me for not fucking, you know, putting my pom-poms up. The game hasn't even launched yet, by the way. So who's to say they don't delete this blog post, have SBMM in at launch, and say nothing about it? Just like they did with a couple seasons where they said, oh, we fixed this bug. We talked about it on Thursday. And then on Saturday, the bug was still in. We laughed at them and said, oh, look, they said they fixed the bug and they didn't. And then someone was like, oh, they never said that. So we went to the patch notes and they had just removed it without saying anything. And then we were like, dude, I swear to God, this was in there. So then we went to our VOD and sure enough, it was in fact in there. Now, I don't think they're not going to do that because the backlash would be biblical. So there won't be SBMM at launch for sure. But the question is, yeah, how long will it last? Is it coming to Warzone? And will it be there for 2026? So
yeah,
good changes though. I am very curious to see what the aim assist changes will entail. That's going to be very, very interesting. So anyway,
aim assist has been removed. Breaking news. Wow.
Yeah. Yes. So just a couple other little things here. That's pretty much it. On the latest COD pod, one of the community questions or whatever, someone was like, excuse me, they asked themselves and pretended someone asked them, oh, so we're not getting wall jumping in Warzone. And then Stephanie, the lady, was like, oh, we don't really know at this time. We're not like set either way. We may or may not do it based on how much it makes sense and maybe feedback or whatever. A lot of yapping, but the yapping implied basically they're not set one way or another yet. Meaning we may get wall jumping or we may not. They haven't decided yet. That's what she said. This implies to me that we will be getting wall jumping in Warzone. Because if they were dead set on not having it in Warzone, they either would have said that, or more likely, they wouldn't have talked about it at all. So the fact that they're open to it, they're going to get enough pressure to add it to Warzone. Because people have been fucking loving it in multiplayer. So if I would put it at like an 85% chance we get it in Warzone, based on that statement. And that would be very, very, very good. That would be the most impactful change to Warzone of the entire integration easily. And again, wall jumping way more impactful than I originally thought it was going to be. So having that come to Warzone would be really, really good. Wouldn't be enough because factory on Verdansk, but it would definitely help for sure. It would be way better. What are your thoughts on that?
I'm not so sure it's coming because like when she's purposely like hinting at something, she makes it very obvious. Like with the wall jumping thing, she's like, there won't be wall running. But this, like the tone that she said everything, she's like, you know, Raven, the team, they are excited about wall jumping. You know, they're gonna wait or we're gonna see, you know, kind of what the feedback is on it and then go from there. It really didn't seem like it was that sure of a thing. Like I feel like it's like there's a less than a 50% chance that we're going to get it. Just the way she worded it, it didn't even sound like they had anything in the works or intended on it. It kind of sounded like they were going to wait till the Black Ops launch, see how people are feeling after a month or two. But it's like, when would they even add it in? If they're not going to do it on the integration, which it doesn't sound like it would be, things can change, but if we don't know, like by the launch of BO7, if they don't say that it's coming on integration, we're not getting it on the integration of Warzone at all. So then when would they drop it? Like January randomly, February, and then they have the blackout experience coming? Like, where does it even fit in there? That's what I'm kind of struggling to see.
Interesting.
So I don't know. I don't think it's that probable that it's going to happen. It certainly should, but I don't know. Just the way she worded it, it didn't sound like her normal little tone when she is saying something sneaky and obvious.
Yeah, that tone, she would have used that if they were definitely adding it, but they haven't announced it yet. But instead, she was saying, like, we haven't really decided yet, but we might. And I think they're going to decide too, and then by the time the integration comes around, it'll be done. It'll be like ready, because I think they'll make their decision by like week 2 of the launch, because everyone's going to be asking for it because they're going to be loving it again, just like they did in the beta. That's my guess. But I mean, you could be right. It's not a sure thing, but fuck, they need it, man. I mean, they need a lot more, but like this would help tremendously. Yeah. Specifically for mostly the fucking Havens Hollow. It would matter a lot more there because you're in a lot more up close gunfights, obviously, in like Resurgence. It would matter for Rebirth too, I guess, but like it just wouldn't matter that much for a lot of Verdansk fights, I guess is what I'm saying. But anyway, that's cool. So Ted Timmons also. So Ted Timmons, for those of you who don't know, Timmy Timmons is he was the head of Raven Software during the Caldera era of Warzone, among other times. And we've talked about him a lot. He got really mixy. He was the guy in charge of doing 3 updates per week, every week for Warzone. Many of them were not good updates, but many of them were good. And he at least told us what he was doing, and the patch notes were clear, concise, accurate, and reliable. every time, which is, he's the only person to have done it. So for that reason, he actually is the best dev we've ever had in Warzone. Not because redeploy packs were good, not because gulag tokens were good, not because flares were good, but because he at least told us what he was doing and why. So shout out Ted Timmons. He's fucking gone now, by the way. He left Raven a while ago. We talked about it. And he tweeted something on the 3rd, so 6 days ago. He said, fucking, hey, folks. So I have a pretty wild update. I've been asked to step up to lead the Fortnite Battle Royale. It's been a truly incredible first 5 months at Epic, which is the dev for Fortnite. The creative freedom is liberating, and the team is outstanding. Yeah, it's a little sneak diss. I have much still to learn, poorly phrased, but I'm excited for this new yap. Yeah. And then the Ghost of Hope.
He said a lot.
Yeah, he said a lot more than that, which we won't be reading. But that was his virtue. When he wrote patch notes, he would also say a lot. And he'd get those italics going, and we'd know what the fuck they're thinking when they do something, which was so nice. And now we don't know. They make a change, and we have no idea why. So, cool. The Ghost of Hope has said, Raven and Warzone lost out on this, man. Ellipse. And then Ted Timmons replied, this is the point of this whole thing. Very kind of you to say, but stay positive. Different games serve different audiences and play styles, and I hope Warzone can still find its way again.
Yeah. So he even knows Warzone is dead as fuck and being sunset. Yeah. Very interesting the way he
That's a sneak
says that.
diss.
I hope Warzone can still find its way again. He's aware. He's aware of what the players think about the game. He's a knower of Warzone. So, yeah, very interesting coming straight out of his mouth. I also didn't really pay attention to that top part where he said the creative freedom is liberating. The only reason you say that it feels liberating is because you did not have that much creative freedom under Activision.
Which is obvious.
Which, yeah, I'm sure they let you do some things and didn't let you do others.
Yeah.
He says that, but also we had King Kong and Godzilla fighting over a volcano on Caldera, so you had some creative freedom.
That's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point.
King Kong and Godzilla in my Battle Royale and made me not play it for about 3 weeks, so you had some creative freedom.
That's a great point. Yeah.
Interesting still that he said that. So, yeah, Ted knows Warzone is dead.
Add him to the list.
I didn't put it on here, but Ted
on Warzone. Yeah,
but Ted actually put a sunset GIF after this.
He did put a sunset GIF. Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, because they're sunsetting Warzone. Yeah,
it's gone. Yeah,
obviously, and that's super obvious. Yeah.
So yeah, confirmed. Warzone sucks. Straight out of the mouth of the former lead.
Yep. Yeah. Again, add him to the list of former devs shitting on Call of Duty / Warzone. When they've broken the shackles.
That's a list that we have handy. Yeah.
It's so long that I don't have enough. My 2 terabyte hard drive can't hold the text file of names. And if you know anything about text files, you know how insane that is. Of names on that list. It isn't that many. It's a number though. Anyway, whatever. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So overall, BO6, who fucking cares? Warzone right now, who fucking cares? But for the future, things are looking bright. This is, after hearing about the open mosh pit, everything we've heard today is just about the best possible thing we could have heard by my estimation. I mean, in theory, they could have said there won't be SBMM this entire year, nor ever again. That would have been better. But of course they weren't going to do that. But just, temper your expectations a little bit. Launch will definitely not have SBMM. That's going to be really cool and fun. But if you think it's going to last all year, I'd be surprised. And again, more importantly for me and probably many of you, there's no indication whatsoever that we're getting this SBMM reversion in Warzone. Although we might. And I will say, I find it fairly likely, in fact, that we will get a similar change to SBMM for Warzone, just because they've opened the floodgates now. Yeah. The cat's out of the bag. They've talked about SBMM and they've said they've removed it. So obviously people are going to be saying, hey, like me, do it for Warzone. They're definitely going to start doing that, especially when the integration's around the corner. And then they're going to be they're not going to be forced to, but they're going to be very heavily pressured to, or at the very least say something about it. And I think it's more likely than not that they will do the same with SBMM for the Warzone integration. Again, for how long? Who knows? A year max, though, because Infinity Ward's going to come and piss, shit, and fart all over everything good that's happened and set the franchise back another 2 years, just like they did with MW2, and just like they love to do, because they know better than everyone else, including their player base, and they are willing to bleed players to be right, I guess. They've demonstrated this over and 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 over again. So they'll do it again. They'll do it again. And Infinity Ward's a fuck-ass shit company that shouldn't exist. And no one hates them enough. Not a single person. Including Jake, by the way. He hates Activision enough. That's it. He doesn't hate Infinity Ward enough. Not even close. He likes them. He's a fucking idiot. So, but that's fine. You're all idiots. Hate Infinity Ward more. They're just such a bad fucking company, dude. They ruined this game. They ruined it. So whatever. And that's why we're getting Warzone sunsetted as fuck this year, because Infinity Ward ruined it all.
But they're also going
Warzone too.
There's going to be a sunrise next year because they're going to make something new and it's going to be perfect.
Yeah, DMZ2 or whatever it's going to be called is going to be perfect, surely. So anyway, in the meantime, though, now that the beta's over and now that the haunting is in and it's fucking awful, as we already knew, luckily, we have Battlefield 6 coming out tomorrow at fucking 8 a.m. Wow.
Yeah.
They're doing it. Which, that came fast, man. I remember the beta ending and I was like, man, I remember the last day of the beta, I was like, I don't really want to get on because I'll have fun and then I'll know I can't play Battlefield again for fucking weeks and weeks. But now the weeks and weeks have elapsed, basically. So now I just have to wait till tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
And we can play it again. And there is a lot of hype about Battlefield. And this does kind of tie into everything we've talked about today, because Tanner mentioned in Discord, which I think is true, a lot of these changes are a result of the pressure from how positively Battlefield 6 has been received in the FPS community. And there is a substantial amount of crossover there, obviously. They're the two biggest FPS franchises in the world. And so I think it is very fair to say that if Battlefield just did not exist, we would not have read you the blog post we just read you.
Yeah, Battlefield killed COD.
So this is an example of what many of you have said, like, oh, but competition is good for Call of Duty. Like, a lot of you were saying this about X-Defiant and that other fuck-ass game. What was it called?
Splitgate?
Splitgate, maybe.
Splitgate
the
2.
Finals. Basically, every time there's a game where where a character shoots a gun, we get people in chat saying, oh, but this is good for Call of Duty because it's competition. Shut the fuck up, and no, it's not. They don't care about the Finals or fucking X-Defiant, obviously. They're not changing anything off of this. But Battlefield's a big franchise. Not as big as COD, but the second biggest, for sure, in this kind of like respawn multiplayer FPS game arena. Definitely the second biggest. So when they're getting a lot of positive reception and a lot of like content creators saying, fuck COD, like Huskers and Breadman, it's probably a big part of the aim assist changes, saying, hey, I can't, and Metaphor, I can't play this game on keyboard and mouse, so I'm done, actually. I'm going full-time to Battlefield. That's a big deal. That's a big deal. Because that also is just that's a sentiment that, whatever, 3 people said, but they know a lot of other players who aren't content creators share. And then when Battlefield gets all this positive reception, it does put some pressure on them to make some changes. And that is a good thing. And that's one of the beauties of capitalism. God bless America, is that you get pressure from other companies that makes you do better. Now, will it amount to anything? Who knows? Because here's what's going to happen. Again, Battlefield 6 is going to launch. It's not going to be that good. And DICE will fuck it up pretty soon. And then by the time DICE fucks it up a lot, it'll be Season 3 of Warzone, and the SBMM is getting turned right the fuck back on. The fucking Family Guy skins are getting added, and the aim assist is getting buffed again. Because there's no more competition, there's no more pressure anymore. That's my hot take. But anyway, regardless, I will enjoy Battlefield a lot for a month or so.
Yeah, you're just not a gamer, man. You just hate video games. That's the issue.
Oh yeah, you're a true gamer though, huh? You're gonna play Battlefield a lot.
Yeah, over the years I will. Yeah, I'm not gonna blow my load. I'm certainly gonna play it past that month. Yeah, definitely.
When's the last time you played 2042?
I played 2042 over 100 hours. Like, it was like 150 hours or so, I think. So, I mean, I played it quite a bit here and there.
That's not a lot.
And that was a terrible game. For an awful game, yes, it is.
For an awful game, it's a lot.
For a terrible Battlefield game, yes, it is. That's more than I've played Warzone and COD multiplayer in probably the last 12 months. So, yeah, it's a good amount of time. It's a good amount of time.
Okay.
So, yeah, it is. And you'll play it past a month, too.
What's your Hell Let Loose? Yeah, I probably will. What's your Hell Let Loose time?
I think like 2:05 or something. But that's mostly because Gabe is on to play now. That was the big thing. We didn't play as much back then. Otherwise, we probably would have a lot more hours on Battlefield 2042. But now, like, we game every single week. We did not used to do that at all.
Yeah. Okay.
So I think that's the biggest thing.
Either way.
Something to play with.
Yeah, for sure. Regardless, though, we will... yeah, I'm very excited about that. So another thing, too, by the way, just to warn you guys, because I know a lot of you are going to play Battlefield 6. Like, a lot of you are saying that in Discord, and I'm sure many of you who aren't saying it, or who don't like talk or whatever, which is most of you, obviously, will also be playing it. We will probably, virtually certainly, be doing some episodes on Battlefield 6 in the same vein we normally do COD ones on. Like, you know, whatever, strats, loadouts, attachments, shit like that. Because, I mean, starting now, what else will there be to talk about? There's some more shit to be squeezed out of the beta findings or whatever, and obviously more news and leaks are going to be coming out about BO7 and Warzone and Avalon and Blackout and all that shit. But outside of that, there is nothing left to talk about for BO6 and Warzone. Or if there are, I won't be talking about them on principle because the game's fucking boring and awful, and I'm done playing on Verdansk. So there will be some BF6 coming, content coming from this program. Absolutely.
Yeah, probably talk about it on Saturday. I don't
probably
think
even on Saturday.
We have to record tomorrow, and then I won't be on. So, but you'll definitely have played it tomorrow at some point. We can.
Yeah, definitely, 100%. Yeah. Meaning there will be full episodes only about Battlefield. For like, actually, like, we never done that, so I figure we should mention it because yeah, I've never been more bored, and it's not even close with Warzone, and same with Tanner. So yeah, that's going to be happening. So I think many of you are going to be happy about that, though, because most of you will be playing Battlefield, hopefully. So hopefully it's good. Hopefully it's as good as the beta. They don't ruin it. I know they ruined movement, so we will talk about that on Saturday. And I'll let you guys know if it feels any different. Not that I remember it too much, honestly. But if it's a drastic difference, I'll be able to tell. So we'll see. But anyway.
The best thing is we'll have access to a lot more maps and modes and play whatever mode we actually want. So the full game will be much better than the beta experience.
Yeah, 100%. And you can actually level and it matters. So anyway.
Yeah.
All right, that's it. Fuck toys. Thank you to my balls for becoming a friend of the pod and only to you. And again, of course, to our new patrons, etc. We will be back, on Saturday. Hopefully there's some more, like, whatever, BO7 news. I kind of doubt it, though. So we'll probably be talking largely about Battlefield 6. So, fucking goodbye. Rip Ted Timmons.
Sunset
GIF.